Okay, students, welcome to this workshop. So, this is the ninth session, and today I'm going to talk about a very important topic, which is Fourier analysis of signals. Okay, so before that, we'll study why this Fourier analysis is so important in this context as applied to our linear time invariant systems. Okay, so first thing. So we have something called as complex exponentials. Okay, so these are signals. Okay, so these are signals of the form e power s t. Okay, where s is called as the complex frequency. Okay, so obviously the term complex here implies it has real part as well as the imaginary part. Okay, so S has a real part which is denoted by sigma plus an imaginary part which is omega. Okay, so sigma is real part of S and omega is imaginary part of S. Okay, right, where S is the complex frequency, omega is your frequency in radians per second. Okay, so the units is radians per second. Okay, so first things first, why are these complex exponentials so important? Okay, so suppose we have an LTI system. Okay, consider an LTI system, a linear time, an LTI system S. Okay, so yesterday we had derived the convolution relation between input and an output. Okay, have a system S which is an LTI system. Okay, so I have an input x of t and an output y of t. Okay, now and this y of t is related to input x of t by something called as a convolution integral. Okay, which we saw yesterday was nothing but okay, so my h of t was called as the impulse response. And what is the impulse response of an LTI system? An impulse response is nothing but a response of the LTI system to a unit impulse function. Okay, now what did we begin with? We begin with expressing a general function in terms of scaled and shifted impulses, right? So my x of t could be written as a summation of scaled and shifted impulses. Okay, now I found out the response of an LTI system. First, I fed delta t to the system, right? I had noted down the response. The response was called h of t, which I now call it as an impulse response, right? Once the impulse response is known, I can find the relation between any general input and any general output. I don't need to feed the input each and every time. If I know what an input I am going to give to the LTI system, I can find out what the output is by using this relation, which I called it as a convolution integral relation. Okay, so this relation was called as a convolution integral, and it's very easy to prove that a convolution integral is commutative. Okay, so this I called as x of t convolved with h of t. Okay, so this will be same as h of t convolved with x of t. Okay, all you have to do is take t minus tau is equal to some eta and substitute, right? So you'll get the commutative relation. So y of t will also be equal to this. Which is nothing but h of t convolved with x of t. Okay, now I'm going to use this relation and prove and show the significance of complex exponentials in our signal analysis, in your system analysis, okay, in your linear system analysis, right? So suppose if my x of t was equal to e power st, okay, and I want to find out what my output y of t is, okay. So my output y of t, when I feed this to an LTI system as, okay, I'll get an output y of t, and now I'm going to find out what y of t is. I know what input I'm going to give. Also, I know what h of t is. Okay, I know h of t is the impulse response. I feed an impulse and I find out the response. I call it as an impulse response. I know impulse response at this point. I know the input. The only thing that remains is to find what the output is. Okay, so I'll substitute in the second relation this relation. Okay, right now this just a manipulation. So this I can write it as e power st into e power minus s tau d. Okay, now if you note one thing, right, here e power st is a constant. Okay, suppose if you want to find the output at y of t at t equal to 3, right, or t equal to 9 or t equal to 10, whatever it is. So when t is a constant, right, anyway e power st doesn't depend on tau, right? So I can take it outside, where tau is the variable of integration, right? Tau is the variable of integration, sometimes called as a running variable or a dummy variable. Okay, the thing that is varying in this integrand is tau, okay, whereas t is a constant, right? Once you know at what instant you want to find the output, t is fixed, right? S you can vary it, okay, but s doesn't depend on tau, right? So I can take e power st outside. So if I take that outside, so my y of t will become e power st, right, now this term here, right, so tau goes up between minus infinity to plus infinity. So once you calculate the integral, what happens is tau will vanish off. Okay, what you get ultimately is a number that depends on s. Okay, now what is so special about this complex exponentials is it is in this equation, right, in the last equation, right. My output h of s is a number, okay, just a constant number that depends on the value of s. Okay, now what did I feed to the LTI system? I knew what an impulse response is. The input that I fed was complex exponential, right? My output is also a complex exponential multiplied by a number. Okay, which means suppose h of s is equal to say 10, right, my output is 10 times the input, right? And what kind of input should I feed? I should feed a exponential, complex exponential input. Whenever I feed a complex exponential input, right, it just gets multiplied by some number. Okay, so this e power st is called as an eigenfunction of an LTI system, right? If the given system is linear and time invariant, if you are feeding a complex exponential, the output is nothing but a same complex exponential, but in a way it gets multiplied by a number. Okay, and this h of s is the corresponding eigen value. Okay, right? So this is the significance. Okay. Now let's take an example. So this is an example from the textbook. Alright. So just by looking, right, I'll assume what I know what h of t is. Okay. So example, given a system, given an LTI system, linear and time invariant system. So this is only true if the system is linear as well as time invariant, right? Not otherwise. So given an LTI system, right? So given an LTI system implies you know the impulse response. H of t is given. Okay. Right? Now what I am going to do is I am going to feed x of t is always the input, which is some a1 times e power s1 t, right? S1 can be anything, it might be complex number or purely real number, it doesn't matter, right? So a2 times e power s2 t plus a3 times e power s3 into t. Okay. Now my job is to find y of t, the output of this LTI system. Since I know the impulse response, I can directly write what y of t is. Okay. My output y of t is nothing but, so the constant term will remain as it is, right? So you just substitute and you will find out that a1 will remain as it is. So this will just get multiplied by the number which depends on s1. Okay, here you had s, the number was dependent on s. So now if s is equal to s1, right, so the number will be dependent on the value of s, e power s1 t plus a2 h of s2 e power s2 t plus a3 h of s3 e power s3 t. Now what is h of s? H of s is nothing but that integral. Okay. Right. So it doesn't matter what the variable of integration is. Ultimately, t, tau, eta, whatever it is, so it's going to vanish, and what remains is the value